What's up, you guys? Welcome to today's video. I'm going to be talking about several of Moira Cosmetics eyeshadow formulas, specifically liquids and toppers, not like powder. I've got a few of them here that I've been playing with, trying out. I've got these Lucid cream shadows. I've got 3 shades. These are what I've had the longest and played with the most. And I have the shades Venus, which is like this red, kind of orangey pinky. I've got Earth, which is like this really pretty, like cool emerald green to blue shift. And I have Infinity, which is like a sparkly kind of taupey color with a little bit of like blue shift to it. They started releasing a lot of products and I was like, what is the difference between these? And they've all been really fun to try and play with. This one is just their liquid eyeshadow. I only picked up one. A lot of them were just very similar in tones and colors. This one is in the shade Goodness. And it's kind of like a peachy champagne-y gold color. So I'll talk about that formula as well. The last formula I will be mentioning and kind of doing comparisons to are these matte and shimmer duos. I have the shade This or That, which is like a cool kind of peachy neutral brown. And then Sweet and Sour, which is like a peachy, pinky, kind of rosy shade. So I just have those 2. These are newer products that I've been playing with and testing out and wanted to gather some thoughts on, just so if you ever shop Moira Beauty, you can kind of have an idea of like what you're getting and what the differences are in my experience with them. I have a series of demos too for each product, showing you kind of how I use it, the different ways you can use it, how they compare to each other. So hopefully you find this video fun as well as helpful if you are shopping their website or eyeing any of their things. Everything's very affordable. I do feel like for the price, and I hate saying that, in most cases I want something that's good, period. I don't care about good for the price. For me, it needs to be good, period, and the price is a bonus. So that being said, let's go ahead and jump into some of these demos and talk about the different formulas and what you can expect with each one. Starting off with these Lucid cream shadows. They're very easy, very effortless, very beautiful. I would somewhat compare them to a Super Shock. You don't have to worry about them drying out like a Super Shock might, but they are a bit more of an oily consistency. They don't dry down or set completely, but they are very like bouncy, and I don't want to say too oily, but I would say compared to a Super Shock, they're less powdery feeling. They are a bit more slick to touch, and I like applying them with my finger and patting them on. You can build them up. They do start off very sheer, and then you can really pack on the color. So you can get like a nice soft like sparkly topper, or you can get like a full-on opaque eye. If you really want to go opaque with it, I suggest some kind of base for it. I love using my NYX jumbo pencils. I find that with these, they're really great. You can put a powder base down under it as well if you don't have like a cream base like the NYX jumbo pencils, or you can put them down and still like blend out the edges with the powder. So that's really nice. They're very versatile. They definitely don't feel powdery to the touch. They don't set down. And as far as their wear time, you definitely get a few hours, but I do find that they can be a little bit creasy, specifically on me, just because they are that little bit slicker, more oily, for lack of a better word, consistency. You can use them with eyeliners, like I said, overshadow, undershadow, like they're pretty cool. The other con is that I've only used this a handful of times, like maybe 5 times. You start hitting pan really quickly, which can be nice, you know, it's nice to use up what you have, maybe get to try something new and not have an overwhelming collection. But at the same time, for the price, you know, when you're paying $7 and you're getting 10, 12 uses out of it, which I'm just guessing, but I'm just saying, point being is like, you know, is it a good price if you're getting very little product that you're using quickly in there? So something to consider. What's really great is with these is that you can definitely create your own colors depending on the base that you use. So that's a really fun one, and I do enjoy these Lucid Cream shadows. They have a ton of different colors, so I definitely recommend these. Next formula and product I want to talk about is just their straight up liquid eyeshadows. These are fairly new to their website. They came out a few months ago after the Lucid Cream shadows. So I was curious about these and how they compare as far as like a topper or application, because those Lucid Cream shadows are really sparkly. So this is definitely, it's less opaque, but has a lot more like glitter to it than the next formula I'm about to talk about, which also has some liquid shimmers in it. These are buildable, but I don't recommend building up more than like 2 or 3 coats. I notice it does start to get patchy. So it you can get opaque, but I feel like you are trading that for a little bit more of like a flaky finish, because I do feel like these are definitely a bit more glittery, at least this particular color goodness. So it's nice because it does pack a punch more so than the next product I'm about to talk about, which is the Duos. And also it's just a little bit different finish than the topper-esque of the Lucid Cream shadows. But I do think that you can only build these up so far, or you're going to start getting like a little bit of flaking or patchiness. You can blend it out. They're great for applying, so you can get like a cut crease situation. They're beautiful for an inner corner highlight. I really liked using that for this particular one. I also noticed, again, these can be applied before shadow or after shadow, like it works well with powders. These do set down, which is nice. You set down and you don't get any glitter fallout. Again, you just kind of get that patchiness or uneven application look if you start building up too many layers, in my experience with this particular color. If you do want to use like a powder under it, I noticed that putting this on, it doesn't lift or disturb any of the work that you did underneath with powders, so it does kind of jive well with powders, which is great. They're not scented or fragranced, but there is like a slight chemical-y smell to these. It's not like offensive or crazy, but just something worth mentioning as far as the formula, that it definitely isn't fragranced or anything, but it doesn't smell like nothing. Like you can get a little bit of like a slight chemical smell. I think my favorite way to use these is definitely just like as a topper, pat it out with my finger, or as an inner corner highlight. And then I did notice that I do have like a weird little blemish, like a bubble. So it's almost like the shape of a lipstick, and I do think that it was supposed to be fully round. No big deal, but you don't get a whole lot of product. So that's something that I notice as far as using liquid eyeshadows and even the liquid lipsticks, is it doesn't feel like you get a whole lot of product with the Moira formulas. And so if you're considering like the price point, it's good for what it is, but it also seems like you're using it up very quickly. Moving on to the last formula. And spoiler alert, this is probably one of my favorite ones. I've just been really enjoying it. It's more of a fun thing than it really is like you have to go out and get this. It's gonna change your makeup routine. So these are really fun as far as a versatile product, just having a little bit of both. I can imagine these great for travel. I'll go ahead and show you sweet and sour demo first, and I've applied it in a manner where it's under makeup and over makeup, so you can see the side by side, and then I kind of try to create like the same look overall. And then what I'm wearing on the eyes right now, and I have a quick demo of applying that, is This or That, like cooler toned color. So these are really nice. They're very buildable. I do notice the matte colors are pretty light, especially once you blend them out. I like to blend them out with like a little flat kind of fluffy brush like this. I just felt like that was really nice for patting it in as well as fluffing it out. And I did notice that these had a beautiful blend with the mattes. They applied really easily. They didn't dry too quickly, so you did have some time to kind of place it and then, you know, blend it out and pat it. And I also noticed that it doesn't over blend, like you don't wind up getting too far away from where you actually applied it with the little wand, which is really nice. I enjoyed that about it. I did notice that the colors were very light though, so I was definitely getting some subtle glam looks with these two colors that I chose. And overall, I would say the whole collection, because they do have more colors, was kind of in that very like light, leaning less mid-toned color family. So they're all very neutral shades, but I think that you're gonna, if you want something more defined and dramatic, and you're gonna want to add a product with these to deepen your edges or line your eyes. With just these products alone, with the colors I chose specifically as well, like it was just very subtle and light, which was very beautiful, but just worth mentioning. I work with these one eye at a time. It dries quickly, not too quickly, but I definitely, like with blending out and everything, I would just work one eye at a time. You can build up the shimmer. They're a bit less intense than the liquid eyeshadow as far as like glitter. These are a bit more of a subtle shimmer, but you can build them up, and I didn't find that you get like funky patching or creasing the more that you apply. So the eyes that I'm wearing now, I think this was about 2 to 3 applications. So one time patted out, and then it took like about 2 more times to kind of really get this like cut, crease, and intense look to it. And I find that if you want that more quickly, not using a brush and not patting out with your finger helps. I just find that, you know, you don't get those soft blended edges if you're just using the wand that it comes with and nothing else. So I think that in order to get a nice blend, you are going to want to use like a couple of applications. You know, like I would suggest patting it out with your finger or a brush, letting that dry, and then maybe going in with the wand and then just leaving it alone for that intense glittery look. And again, as you can see, the colors are very light and subtle, and I didn't do liner today. I didn't do any kind of additional products. This is just the matte and shimmer, so by themselves very pretty, but still like a subtle glam. I find that these aren't too liquidy, which is nice. I don't like eye products that are liquid but like are too water-based. You definitely, like I said, get a beautiful blend with your finger or a brush, and it doesn't blend out too far. Same thing like with the mattes. The shimmers are the same way. You're not getting like a blend past where you want it, so you have like a nice amount of control. I find the wear time with these is quite a bit longer. Everything stays in place. I don't get funky creasing or patching or glitter fallout, which is really nice. And then these also work well with shadows under or over them. So I didn't do that today, but I did do that in the demo with this color Sweet and Sour. So overall, these are really pretty shimmers. They are a bit sheer at first, but you can build them up without patchiness, which is nice. The applicators were really easy to use. And comparing them with the level of shimmer, these are more opaque but less glittery, whereas these, you know, you can build up and be careful not to get patching, but these definitely are a bit more sparkly and shimmery. These are buildable, but I would consider them more of a topper than a solo eyeshadow. You can, this deeper color especially, you can build it up by itself, but they do not dry down or set completely throughout the day. So things to consider with these 3 formulas. Overall, they're very affordable. Overall, I do enjoy them all. I do think they all kind of do different things. If you really were strapped and couldn't make a decision, I would probably recommend these as like toppers if you want to just kind of add something to your everyday look. Or I would consider these because I just like the duo. I like multitasking products. I like versatile products. So I feel like this is sort of like a like a liquid version of a shimmer eyeshadow, which is like obvious, but I don't think that it's giving you necessarily anything extra if you have nice shimmers that you like. These, it's definitely nice that you get a matte, a complementary color scheme of a matte and a shimmer, but again, sort of a con is that you're not getting much of each product. Because these are so new and I've only used them a couple of times, I'm not sure how quickly I'm going to run out, but I do kind of bet that these aren't going to be in my collection very long. Like, I will be panning these soon enough. Overall, these were all really fun to play with, really beautiful. They all kind of did different things, so you're not necessarily buying repeat products, in my opinion. Hopefully you found this video helpful as well as entertaining with the different demos and swatches and just talking about application techniques that you can use. They're all pretty versatile products, affordable products, and again, Moira is, I think, a great upcoming brand. I've been really enjoying everything from them. My thing with this is I just think that you're going to run out of product quickly, so something to consider is it is an affordable price point, but if you're running out of product, you know, it's still going to get you a number of uses, but if it is like a tried and true favorite, you might be replacing it quite a bit. That's it for today's video. Hopefully you enjoyed this one. I had fun filming it and getting together all my thoughts on these different products and playing with these sparkly, beautiful liquid shadows. I just think they're a lot of fun. So thanks so much for hanging out with me today. Hopefully you're having a great week, and I will catch you in the next one.